I think it's not tightened down. Well, okay. Okay, go live for a little bit. We're going to decide which Christmas cookies to make. Well, excuse me. Well, why are you so noisy, kitty cat? Hi, Susan. Hi, when evil entered. Give me a second. The kitty is really getting in my way. Deuce. Hi, guys. I'm going to grab the book. Hi. I'm Susan. Welcome to Lip Lock No More. I need to adjust a few things here. How's everybody doing? Good morning, or at least it's morning for me. It's like 10:40 a.m. with Deuce McKenzie, one of the rescue kitties, rubbing up on my leg now that I finally got a seat. Y'all, it is raining like all get out. Rags, the rescue dog, is curled up in her kennel on a pile of blankets underneath a brooder lamp. And as a matter of fact, her first, what would have normally been her first walk this morning, we've walked in the rain before, especially very first walk after being kenneled all night, you know. No, kitty, don't. Hang on. No, kitty. Kitty, get off. You'll know I have a cover on the table because the kitties jump up here. Let me see if I can get him down. I don't want him to. And sorry for any moan and groan. I'm not one to give a medical report, but I'm just, my right knee is hurting. It's nothing to worry about. Nothing has happened. I'm old. All right, now, I got him down. Let's see how long that'll last. Where was I? I don't know. Oh, Rags. Quickly, I got her harnessed, leashed, opened the gate to come out of the kennel. She heard the rain on the carport roof. She turned right around, walked right back in the kennel. She's like, I'm not going. Because it's cold on top of that. And Bob is at work. Hi, Lillian. Hi, Maria. Now here comes another one, Will-o'-the-Wisp. I'm going to do my best to attempt to stay focused here and do at least a short live stream while I'm being targeted, tormented, and harassed and bullied by rescue cats. And get to the title. But by way of intro, Bob is at work on a rainy day, and I haven't done a lick of housework, cleaned the litter boxes and washed a few plasticware items that I'd left in the sink last night. Hi, Chris. My hands are cold. I was outside a few minutes before I went live. Yes, Lillian does. Lillian walks Bella or Zeus, and if it's raining, she carries like one of those big sports umbrellas, like you would take to a game, to a sports event. Anyway. So I thought, well, watch a little YouTube. And I did. I watched one of the Sigma female videos that I like, and I shared it on our community tab. As a matter of fact, I watched two. I think I shared them both. One from The Rare Gems, the other from Sigma Female Dynasty. Those are both channels on YouTube, of course. And there are two of the channels that I've mentioned in a previous live stream that I have been watching channels. Well, actually, I often watch channels more often than not that are not in this sector. But I had made the mention that as a review channel, there were some channels I had been watching and considering reviewing here in a positive way. And so those are the two channels that I watch everything that they upload. I've subbed to both of them. So far, I'm liking what they're putting out. And as a Sigma female, naturally I would, right? Confirmation bias. Okay. Cool. But nonetheless, I've narrowed it down to those two that I'm consistently viewing their material, then reviewing their material just here at home or, on my phone, sitting out on the porch or in my office, whatever, while I'm doing other things on the computer. And I like what they're putting out. So pretty close to coming to a place that I'll have like an actual content rather than what I usually do, which is no content, which is what we're doing today. But anyone that is interested in, in that it's kind of thing, I have been regularly sharing on our community tab here on Lip Lock No More. So they should be found easily there where you can click the link and go over and see what I'm talking about if you want to. In the meantime, I have yet to begin my Christmas baking. Now, I'm not getting all about it because the closer it is to Christmas, to be quite honest, the fresher the items will be. No kitty. Now she wants to mess with the mat that I have up here to keep them from... Get down now. Hang on. I'm sorry, guys. When you have a cat rescue, she'll probably hop right back up. And the ones that are inside, as most of you guys know, are special needs. Let's put it that way. And so accommodations must be made. Now, y'all that have been around for the, I think this is my fourth Christmas season on YouTube. Pretty sure. But those of you that have been around, This is the cookbook I still use, and so you're familiar with it. And so I was going to sit down. Hi, John McKinney. Hi, Kiki Eyes. I was going to sit down on this rainy day while Bob's at work and Rags is all curled up and warm and whatnot, rather than doing housework, to make a final decision on what I'm going to actually bake as gifts for neighbors for Christmas. And then I thought, you forgot to check and see if you had given away memberships on the live stream the other day when you told people you were going to be giving away memberships if you had them to be given away. So then I thought, well, yesterday, Susan, you were in a live stream. Me, Susan, not Susan Bezio in chat. Then I thought to myself, you were in a live stream yesterday, or watching a live stream, and in the live chat, when someone there asked, Lip Lock No More, have you made your lemon bars yet? Which is totally off topic for the live stream. Hi, Sandy Gant. And so I said, no, not yet. And then that person put in the chat, Lip Lock No More's lemon bar recipe is the best. I can't remember exactly, but it was a very short waving to Lip Lock. Just a very short exchange in the chat, because I didn't want to derail the chat, right, over my lemon bar recipe and whether or not I'd made them. And this person allowed how they my lemon bar recipe is now their lemon bar recipe, and like their kids absolutely love them. And that really kind of got me more in the mood. Then back to today. All of those dots connected, and I was like, well, you've got enough charge on your phone to go live. And part of my goal right now is to, this is going to sound so, to cheer up folks that may not be so cheerful right now. Or to enhance in some way or another, like maybe another recipe will come along like last year and the year before and the year before, lemon bars. Actually, all the way back to 1982 when this book was published and I first got it. And it is the book I use every year. And I thought, of course you got to do something lemon. I like to do something lemon. I like to do something chocolate. I like to do something caramel. And I like to do something coconut. And I like to do something that is relatively plain, like shortbread. Or like a pinwheel with a fruity jam or a marmalade or something in the middle of the pinwheel. Guys, I act like bitches. Let me grab a Kleenex. Having been outside and with the weather, I'm getting like a runny nose. I'll be right back. Oh. Weather and old bones. Wow. Anyway, I'm not going to blow, so I'm not going to mute. It's just one of those where it's like feeling drippy. So, So I found this recipe. Lemon cookie sandwiches. And it's hard for me to figure out with my setup, which you guys know is like totally amateur, how to show you guys anything I'm looking at, especially where you might be able to see it upright. So I'm not going to struggle to like show you the book. I'm just going to sit here and pick things out and chat with you guys a little bit. For anybody that wants to hang out for just a bit and keep me company. One of these days, you never know, I might be able to figure out how to have two phones at once or two, I don't know. Or one of those deals where like instead of like the tripod that you're on right now, that's overhead and you're looking down. I don't know. Hi, Joe. But hi, Trophy Wife. You've got a bad chest cold. Oh, darling. I don't think I'm getting anything. I literally think it's just, the weather overall. But we did go to the Christmas party Thursday night. Actually, Christmas dinner. I felt kind of weird after I posted the picture of myself where I said I'm ready for the Christmas party, and I did a selfie. I was like, that's kind of egotistical. But we had talked about the Christmas party and that it was coming up, the Christmas dinner. And I don't know, just in the moment, I was like, okay, I'm all ready to go. And took the picture and posted it. So I hope nobody was like, well, gee whiz, she really thinks she's something. I don't know. I was just in the spirit of the moment. But the food was traditional. It was catered. It was at our community center. It was my husband's company annual Christmas dinner. And the company actually has 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5 stores in the region. And it was the first time that the owner chose to have the Christmas event for all of the stores combined. So we got to meet people that work at other F.L. Davis stores, home centers, that we hadn't met before. And that was pretty neat. And the desserts were not catered. They were homemade and brought in by wives and folks that work at the stores. So they were super yummy. And I still have some in a container over on the counter by the coffee machine. And Bob got, I haven't seen it out of its package yet, but he got a longevity gift, those that had been there a certain number of years. And Bob's been there a while. He got like a zip up hoodie with the company's emblem, of course, and all, but it looks like it's a really super nice one. And he also received a gift card. And the people that we were seated with, the way they had it set up was like, well, it was decorated beautifully, as a matter of fact, for the season. But it was set up banquet style with round tables that seated 8 at each table, 6 to 8 at each table. No, 6 at each table. And so we made it a point to sit with a young couple that I had never met before and a couple that we're really good friends with. And so that was neat because we got to have conversation, um, you know, I can't think of the word that I want, but just the kind of getting to know somebody chat that you have under that set of circumstances where everything's really pleasant and everybody's in a good mood um, and that kind of thing. And and that was pretty much it. We were home at, it started at 6 and I think we were home by 8:30, you know. So anyway, um, now before I went down that trek, back to why I'm actually here taking up your time. Hi, Pamela. Hi, Not a Drama. Pamela Richardson, coconut cream balls, homemade chocolate brownies with hazelnut and extra peanut butter. Oh, girl. I think you actually made my mouth water. I love hazelnut. Topped with pecans, tropical punch cake is so pretty at Christmas. I am not, sorry guys, I'm not familiar. Ricotta cookies. Hi, Sage. Sage is an absolutely content free live stream. I've just been talking about stuff. Well, based on what I've told you guys about how I like to do some of this and some of that, and I want to do something different this year. Given that I'm using my Betty Crocker Christmas cookbook from 1982, there are recipes in here that I still have not tried. So I want to branch out. So the first one that I found that is in the lemon category, I already have all the ingredients for. And they're called lemon cookie sandwiches. And from what they don't have a picture of them. There are some of the cookies they have photographs of and some they don't. This one they don't. But I can tell just from reading the recipe that it basically ends up, it's literally a sandwich cookie, like an Oreo or a Hydrox, okay, one of those kind of cookies. But I'm going to bake my own wafers and make the lemon filling. And it's a very simple, basic cookie dough recipe. Like I say, I've already got all of the ingredients for it. You know, it's sugar, butter, eggs separated, water, vanilla, flour, salt, baking soda, and chopped nuts and lemon filling is what's called for in the recipe. Now, all of that, of course, except the lemon filling, is for the making of the wafers. And the egg yolks go into the dough, but the egg whites get stirred up a little bit and the chopped nuts go into the egg whites, and then half of the wafers I'm supposed to, like with my pastry brush, put like a quarter of a teaspoon of the chopped nuts that are in the egg yolk onto half of the wafers and kind of use a brush to brush it out. And then obviously the plain wafer becomes the bottom of the cookie. I put the lemon filling in, and then the one with the chopped nuts is the top. Now, here's where I'm asking your input. It only says finely chopped nuts. It doesn't say what kind. Willow. Kitty, no. Kitty, get down. Sorry. Okay, Sandy, that's what, okay. Hi, Angie's Life. I have on hand, it's not that I can't get them from the store, but I'm trying to go with what I got, right? Okay. I have black walnuts, and I have slivered almonds. What's the best nut between those two? I mean, I could probably gather up enough pecans out of the yard, but it's raining and they would be, Hi, Diana Lynn. So Diana Lynn thinks almond. Cat's Hodgepodge thinks walnut. Sandy, I know, honey, but I don't want to ask Bob to buy pecans when I have like 5 pecan trees in the yard. And they're wet right now. I didn't gather before the rain. It's not funny, Cat. I probably read Mustang. Well, Cat, that's the thing, honey. Hey, do we have to decide between the two? How many does this yield? Okay, this makes 4 dozen. Since I've never made it before, what if I did half and half? What if I did, well, Sandy, okay, are black walnuts better than English walnuts is, of course, a matter of personal taste. Black walnuts grow here. Pamela, see, that's, yeah, half and half. I'm like, why not, since I haven't done it before? How was his? Almond goes with lemon, in your opinion. Diana Lynn is thinking half and half too. Poppy Red Mustang likes the black walnut. You like the black walnut better? For just cracking a shell and eating a nut, I prefer the English walnut. 2 reasons. They're easy to crack open and they're easy to get out of the shell, and you get like a half a walnut and you can just, okay. But black walnuts grow here naturally. So I have black walnuts. And I prefer them for cooking. The flavor is very similar, but and this is just my opinion, not like walnut research. In my opinion, the black walnut is a bit more pungent. I'm not sure that's the right term. A little more, has a little more oomph when in the flavor when you bite into it. The meat is not quite as, you agree, Sandy? Oh, sage, I'm telling you. And me doing this reminds me, I don't know why it did, but it did. Some of you that live in this region of the United States, which you guys know I'm in Arkansas. So by region, I basically mean this South Central and Southeast. Okay. Especially if you live in hills and hollers. There was actually a time that some of the old ladies would use the juice from the black walnuts to dye their hair. And it obviously it was obvious, but it would be particularly obvious because y'all know how black walnuts will stain really badly. You know, like you can't get it out from high crimes. You can't get it out from under your, Sandy, I did not know that Native Americans use black walnut as paint. I did not know that. But if you get it, I'm going to keep getting distracted by chat, which is fine. As long as you guys are cool with that, I'm cool with it. But once in a while, and I don't remember ever seeing it myself, but I've heard it when I was little. I've heard the older ladies gossiping about it, okay? Like so and so had let some of the juice trickle down on her forehead, and you can't get that stain off. And so she had done everything she could and couldn't get it off, and showed up at the church house, and had this brown trickle stain down the middle of her forehead. I will not be dyeing my hair with black walnut juice. Although I do know how to make a semi-permanent ink from pulque berries. Okay, so post-it note with y'all's input. We have, as cultivators here in my kitchen, decided that we're going to do half with almonds. Okay, so let me write down lemon cookie sandwiches. Half with almond. Half with walnuts. And the kitty just jumped back up on the table. So, all right, got that out of the way. Busy sidewalks, city sidewalks, dressed in holiday style. In the air, there's a feeling of Christmas. Children laughing, people passing, kitties, excuse me, meeting smile. Stop. Thank you. Smile after smile. And above all this bustle, you'll hear, besides caterwauling, silver bells. Silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling. The ultimate cat getter-atter. Works every time. Hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. So as we were driving to the Christmas dinner, of course, it was already dark. I don't get out after dark much, usually only going to the Christmas dinner anymore. So I had not been down Main Street in the dark. Naturally, being a small town in north central Arkansas, we have the Christmas lights that get put up by the city on the light poles going down Main Street. So I had seen that, but I had not seen our courthouse. And it's a jaw dropper. I even said to Bob, my husband, and Don, his co-worker that we had picked up to give a ride up to the dinner, I have to come down here and get video of this at night. I have to have video of this, and I have to post it on my channel. It's breathtakingly beautiful. I mean, really. It's one of those that if you weren't in the Christmas spirit, I'm getting all like, woo. If you weren't in the Christmas spirit before you left the house, you certainly were by the time you got to the Christmas dinner. But I was already in the spirit. But I've got to get video of it. So, yeah. I love being part of Small Town USA because I'm old. So I come out of the analog age. For one thing, I grew up barefooted and out in the country for part of my life and in the city for another part. And I grew up in an era where things were different. And I find that during the Christmas season is when I become nostalgic for those things that remind me of those times. The sentimentality can sometimes make me emotional. But please keep in mind that during this time, if I become emotional, I'm not sad. And I hope you're not, because that's part of my goal here. This is a tough time of year for a lot of people. I know, I've been there. So, in the fruity department, I'm considering I was glancing at chat, but my eyes are kind of blurry because I teared up there, and you guys know doggone cataracts, okay? In the fruity category, I'm thinking Christmas pinwheels. Now, the only thing is it requires the rolling out of the dough. I have a rolling pin. I don't mind that. But I no longer have, for years, I had a pastry sheet, for rolling it, and I can't find it anywhere. I have absolutely no idea where it has gotten off to. It must have grown legs and walked off on its own. So I'm a bit reluctant to use their countertop, although I do keep them sanitized. Like several times a day, I sanitize my countertops because I never know at any moment when I turn my back, a cat is going to jump up on one, and there you go. So I don't like to do anything really on the bare countertop. I'll look for something else fruity. Okay, and I put a little marker with the lemon cookie sandwiches. Ring-a-ling, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. Excuse me. Strings of street lights, even stoplights, blink of bright red and green as the shoppers rush home with their treasures. Oh, y'all. Raspberry jam strips. I don't have raspberry jam, but I have strawberry jam. Butter, sugar, brown sugar, egg, vanilla, flour, baking powder, jam. I have all that. Almond glaze. Okay. Herein may lie my quandary. What is the almond glaze made of? Powdered sugar? I got it. Almond extract? I got it. Water? I got it. Whoa. What do we do? What do I do? Okay. Okay, it's standard. I'm not going to bore you with like directions or stuff, okay? After I make these, or if anybody like wants the recipe, I'll do like I did last year and the year before. Just let me know in the comment section or whatever. And I'll respond. I'll post the recipe. But it's the standard thing where you mix, okay, the butter, the sugar, the egg, the vanilla. You stir in the dry ingredients. You divide the dough into 8 equal parts. You shape it into a strip and bake it on a cookie sheet. No, wait. Put it on a cookie sheet. Then you make an indentation down the middle of each one with the handle of a wooden spoon. I got wooden spoons. And you fill the indentation with the jam. Oh my goodness, y'all. You bake it till the edges are light brown, and it only bakes for like 10 to 12 minutes. No kidding. Then you cool it a little bit and you drizzle it with the glaze, and then you cut it, the little loaves. Y'all. So in the fruity category, I'm looking for one of my bookmark things, which aren't really bookmarks. They're just pieces of paper that I ripped. Kitties, be good. Oh, this could get rowdy. This could get really rowdy. We might get up. Let's get up. Let us move. And I don't know what the signal is like from over here. If all heckin' breaks loose with kitty cats, please don't be concerned. It just happens when you're in a cat rescue and they never actually fight. They just bully each other. Okay, so in the fruit category, I'm going with strawberry jam strips. Thank you guys for hanging out with me while I'm doing this. I mean, I could enjoy it all by myself, of course. Hi, Crime Sleuthin'. I'm trying to get it where you guys don't, where the light is, where my head is blocking the light and you don't have that light glaring on your screen. Hi, Grateful Middle-Aged Cat Mama. Yeah, Mama, they bully Patches in particular, and she's my emotional rescue cat. She's the one that comforts me when I start to cry over something. So, all right. So, turning a page. Oh my goodness, the picture, you guys. Hang on. The life of a cat rescuer. Oh my goodness. I really wanted to sit at the table to do this. But I don't want to make you guys sick to your stomachs by moving you around constantly. But this is not good. I don't want that light glaring in your eyes on your screen. So hang on for me. They seem to have settled back down. And I didn't have a full charge when I started this live stream. So if the live ends suddenly and without explanation, it's because my battery went down, but usually a little warning will come up on my screen to tell me I have like 15% battery left. And when that happens, I'm just like, I love you guys, bye. Okay, so, all right. Let us look further. Let me look further. Mm-hmm. Old recipes that came out of old magazines. Minty grasshopper pie, easy chocolate chip cheesecake, chocolate turtle pie, quick butterscotch cream cheese pie, chocolate raspberry cheesecake, and perfect pumpkin pie. I already make a great pumpkin pie. I don't even know. I was trying to see if there was a year or anything on these. But it obviously got torn out of a magazine sometime. And so did this lemon crumb bars, pecan pie bars, prize cookies. Okay. Chocolate coconut squares. Hear me out. I know not everybody likes coconut. I know, but some people do. And I have coconut. That's why I like to make a variety. And that, you know. Now, chocolate coconut squares. Keeping in mind, just in case, I'm going to say fair use because none of these recipes are my recipes. They're literally from, let me do a quick fair use disclaimer just to cover my hiney. I mean, I haven't monetized this live stream. I'll monetize it after I end it, just in case anybody on rewatch, but okay, but just in case. All of the recipes I'm mentioning are from Betty Crocker's Christmas Cookbook. Copyright 1982 by General Mills, Incorporated, Minneapolis, Minnesota. All rights reserved by them. Okay. Chocolate coconut squares consists of graham cracker crumbs, butter, sugar, coconut, condensed sweetened condensed milk. Yes, I keep it on hand. Either almond or vanilla extract, semi-sweet chocolate chips, and almonds. I have all of that. Okay, so basically, okay, here's what happens. I would make a graham cracker crumb crust, basically, in a 13 by 9 by 2. And then I mix the coconut, the sweetened milk, and the almond extract and spread it over that graham cracker crust, and I bake it. And then I sprinkle the just chocolate chips over the baked layer and put it back in the oven just until the chocolate chips melt. Sprinkle it with almonds. I don't have it. This sounds familiar. I think I made this last year. I'm pretty sure I did. It's easy. And I have the step. So there's chocolate and coconut. Chocolat, coconut, squares. Now, last but not least category, caramelish. I don't want to make two things with coconut, but I just glanced at the page preceding and it has toffee coconut bars. And I would actually make my own toffee. Not a battery warning. It's my sister-in-law. Facebook. I don't go on Facebook. I can't say I've never been on Facebook. Obviously, I have a Facebook, but I use the instant messenger part. I like the instant messenger. I don't want to do, okay, caramel, but not quick praline bars. It requires pecans. What is today, the 14th? Okay, so I have 11 days. 11 days till Christmas. Will my true love bring to me store-bought pecans or a partridge in a pear tree? Anyway, I think I was talking about something that was totally meaningless when the cats got rowdy, and I said, oh, we have to change places, and then we changed places, and then we came right back to where we began. So I have no idea what I was talking about. Okay, now we're over into the candies. I'm staying in the baked good area. Toffee bars. Y'all, I may have to go to another source for something that is chocolate caramel crunch bars. Hold your horses. Okay, it calls for a package of caramels. But I'm not going to get all of this baking done all in one day. That means there's going to be grocery shopping done between now and Christmas. And I deliver our gifts to our neighbors on Christmas Eve. We walk around house to house. The neighbors always know it's Susan and Bob bringing us cookies. And we're like, Merry Christmas, here you go, okay? So I need a 14-ounce package of caramels. Hang on, and then I'll tell you what the recipe is. And thank you for continuing to hang out with me on a totally content-free Saturday, rainy, old lady, grumpy day. This is me grumpy. Yeah. I need another piece of paper upon which I will write along with the rest of the grocery list. 14-ounce package. Package caramels. And that's exactly what I'll get. He always gets exactly what I asked for. It's amazing. Oh, once in a great while, you know, like if there's a can of something sitting next to a can of something, or like if it's the line for the plumbing under the sink, he might accidentally, like he's looking at that one, but he'll grab that one. Okay. All right. So the chocolate caramel crunch bars consists of okay, so I'm going to melt the caramel candies and 1/3 cup water over low heat, stirring frequently until they're melted. Okay, so I'm going to melt the caramels. Then I'm going to mix flour, quick cooking oats, brown sugar, butter, baking soda, and salt together. And I'm going to reserve 1 cup of that mixture for a topping, but I'm going to press the rest of that into a 13 by 9 by 2, and I'm going to bake it for 10 minutes. Y'all, that sounds good. Oats. The crust, so to speak, is made of flour, oats, brown sugar, butter, baking soda, and salt. I'm telling you, that sounds really good to me. Okay. Oh yeah, this is what I'm doing, y'all. This is yeah. I know I have chocolate coconut, but this is gonna be chocolate caramel crunch bars. Okay, so after the aforementioned and baking that like you would a graham cracker crust, then I'm gonna sprinkle it with chocolate chips. Then I'm gonna drizzle it with the caramel that I have melted. Then I'm going to sprinkle the reserved cup of stuff from the crust over the top, and I'm going to put it back in the oven for about 15 minutes, and then you cut it into bars. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Okay, that's 4 things. And that's usually about what I do, unless sometimes I decide to like do some breads like cranberry nut bread, banana nut bread. So I may end up with some of those too, but this is it for the cookies. So thank you guys for hanging out with me while I was deciding. There's a tree at the Grand Hotel, one at the park as well. The sturdy kind that doesn't mind the snow. Here we go. Bam! It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Soon the bells will start. And the thing that'll make them ring is the carol that you'll sing right within your heart. Boom, boom. Did I see Carrie Bishop coming up in here? Carrie, for over an hour, I have been doing a totally content-free live stream, and these kids have been hanging out with me, and I have no idea what they're talking about because I've been perusing this recipe book and making decisions on Christmas cookies. And my gimmick was I baited Carrie, I baited everybody that came in, I baited them to stay. I enticed them with the notion that I was going to allow them to actually help me make some decisions, which they did. But that was the gimmick. It was the very first cookie up. And a nutty decision was made, like all decisions here on Lip Lock No More. They're all nutty. And after that, I basically went off on a wild tear, like a mad dog running the streets, and basically made the choices myself after having done the clickbait and getting these kids over here to just sit here and be bored, basically to tears. But if it put a smile on one person's face on a Saturday morning, after what for some people has been a hellacious week on the mean streets of YouTube, not for me. But if it got anybody to giggle or get your mind off of anything that you would like to have your mind off of for an hour and some odd minutes, hey, mission accomplished. And if I spouted off with any ingredients or recipes there that you're like, hey, I might like to try that myself, like I said, let me know in the comment section and I'll post it. Other than that, I probably need to go walk the dog. I really don't want to go out in the rain. And she's probably still curled up in a little ball. Let me lay these aside. Check out what I got at the dollar store, y'all. You know how this time of year, the stores will begin putting the Christmas items that they put on the shelves before freaking Halloween, right? It's like I'm in the store 2 weeks before Halloween shopping for Halloween candy, and they already have a Christmas aisle. Well, I'm frugal. I am rarely extravagant these days anyway, because I'm on Social Security. But this time of year, they'll start putting things on sale. I got new Christmas lights. I know, it's a splurge. They're for the front porch. It's just not Christmas outside without some Christmas lights outside. So hopefully tomorrow we'll get these. It's just one strand. It's 28 feet of lights. It should go all the way across the front of the, under the eave of the front porch. And so it was one of those. So anyway, yeah. So I found that not only thinking about what I was going to be baking for my neighbors, but going down a Christmas clearance aisle at the Dollar General and finding a string of lights. And when I got to that place, there was a young lady there holding her, I didn't know at the moment because she was a stranger to me, but after several minutes of conversation, came to realize that the baby was 5 months old, his first Christmas. And she was on the Christmas clearance aisle just like I was. And it was a pleasant conversation. It was very pleasant. So I'm going to read you The Winter Ills, which is the next section in our book. Look at that, Carrie Bishop, member for 5 months. Please post the last recipe you were reading. I will, baby. The chocolate, the last one, chocolate caramel. I will post it. Hold the ladder for Bob. We're getting old, Sandy. I will, honey. I will. We have learned gracefully since Bob's stroke and his hand injury that teamwork makes the dream work. I know that is a cliche, but in our case, it's true. One example is cleaning a light fixture. You hold that, and I'll do this. Like I mentioned in the last live stream, life is like a river. It flows. Go with it. If you, like Bob and I, have come to a place where the things you used to do by yourself, now it's you hold this and I'll turn that. I think that's pretty freaking cool myself. Especially if that person is somebody that you can look at and say, man, I'm really glad you're in my life. So, yeah. All right. Enough of that silly stuff. Let me get the book. Oh, what is that? Oh, it just came from out of nowhere. I don't know. It's green. It's like Christmas. Oh. Oh, beautiful star of Bethlehem. I have to cough after taking that hit, so I'm going to mute. So we have started a new, excuse me, I'm so sorry about that. That was very rude of me, and I apologize for it. It's not a new book. We have begun reading from a different book. We began on the last live stream under fair use. This book is titled Through the Kitchen Window. It is authored by Susan Hill, and it is illustrated by Angela Barrett. The copyright is 1984 on both the text as well as the illustrations. It was first published in Great Britain by Hamish Hamilton Ltd, London, all rights reserved. And we are in winter. And the next segment is titled Winter Ills. I purposefully have not pre-read anything in this book. So who knows? But let's have a short reading. Then I'll send you kids out of here if I have enough battery power left. Winter Ills from Through the Kitchen Window. In former days, comforts and cures for coughs and colds came not from the pharmacy or the medicine chest, but from the kitchen. In Culpeper, the list of herbal remedies and treatments for all the ills and aches of winter seemed to contain almost every plant in the garden, hedgerow, or field. Some are still popular, if of doubtful efficacy, but many are now impractical to obtain. Yet there are one or two specifics which are readily available and concoctable and of proven value. For all the coughs and wheezes and sneezes, coughs and influenzas and shivers, aches and aches of winter, you may find sustenance, both preventative and palliative, and sometimes even curative, in the kitchen. Garlic and onion are tried and tested remedies for colds and fevers. Garlic is a natural antiseptic and has antibiotic properties, and is particularly effective against all complaints. It is also undeniably antisocial unless shared around the whole family. But one way of taking it in large quantities is as a soup. And when it is cooked as below and served piping hot, the distinctive flavor of the garlic, which some find offensive, is rendered quite bland. Now, readers, viewers, listeners, as a sidebar quickly, as I discovered in first opening this book on the live stream the other day, a recipe comes afterwards for garlic soup. 2 large heads of garlic, 2 pints of water, salt and black pepper, 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 ounces of butter, 1 ounce of plain flour, and 2 ounces of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. Separate the garlic loaves, but do not peel. Boil them in water for about a minute. Drain, cool, peel. Place garlic, olive oil, some thyme, and a bay leaf, salt and pepper in the water, and simmer for half an hour. Strain. Press the garlic cloves through a sieve, or else liquidize the whole. Make a paste with the melted butter and flour. Gradually stir into the soup and continue to stir until smooth. Simmer for a few minutes and serve with grated Parmesan cheese and some chopped parsley if available. In chills and fevers and heavy head colds, take onion soup, or else onions boiled whole, or baked or roasted, and retire to bed immediately after. Plentiful use should be made of onions in all manner of ways in the winter and in the winter kitchen for their nourishing and health-giving qualities. Sidebar, I completely agree. That's why we grow our own onions. Even though I'm down to the shallot size now, I've got enough, I think, to get us through. Fruits and fresh fruit juices are vital to strengthen the natural resistance to the ills of winter, as well as for those who have already succumbed. Citrus fruits are imported in great quantities and at their freshest, juiciest, and best between November and February. So that lemons and oranges for squeezing or pressing are easily and cheaply obtainable and fill the kitchen with a wonderful sharp scent of hot Mediterranean and tropical places. A hot toddy is a pleasure in any state of cold or chill. Fresh lemon juice is mixed with boiling water and sweetened with honey and given a generous dash of whiskey or rum or brandy. But a patient with a fever does not want to be further overheated, and then copious cool drinks are required to replace body fluids and ease sore throats and dry mouths. Now, you guys know I've been liking to show you the illustrations because they're such a beautiful part of this book. And here I have a hot water bottle, but I don't have a knitted cover for the hot water bottle. But I really do have one of the old style red hot water bottles. Auntie Pam's lemon drink. 2 or 3 lemons, thinly sliced, rind and juice. 1 pound of sugar, 1 ounce of citric acid, and 1 pint of boiling water. Put the lemons, the sugar, and the citric acid into a large jug. Pour on the boiling water and stir until sugar dissolves. Cover, leave to cool, stirring occasionally, and dilute to taste. Keeps about 10 days in the refrigerator. I love these illustrations. Christmas. Christmas in the kitchen begins in October. Then the cake, the mincemeat, and the pudding are made, and then the smells of Christmas cooking begin to seep through the house, to linger there in cracks and corners until December. It is spicy, hinting of exotic places. There's cinnamon from Sri Lanka. There are cloves from Zanzibar. There is ginger from China and Jamaica. Nutmeg from the tree that grows in the Indies. On the table, bowls of dried fruit in dark, glistening mounds. Currants, raisins, sultanas, dates, with piles of chopped peel and strips of crystallized citrus and cherries stickily soaked in sugar. Crumbly, creamy suet, pith and zest of oranges and lemons together with apples. Blenheims and Bramleys, Lambourne and Cocks, all neatly chopped. Everyone comes in to stir the pudding, and the fumes of the brandy rise up. The wishes all made. Christmas has begun. Such a bustle ensued that you might have thought a goose, the rarest of all birds, a feathered phenomenon to which a black swan was a matter of course. And in truth, it was something very like it in that house. Mrs. Cratchit made the gravy, ready beforehand in a little saucepan, hissing hot. Master Peter mashed the potatoes with incredible vigor. Miss Belinda sweetened up the applesauce. Martha dusted the hot plates. Bob took Tiny Tim beside him in a tiny corner of the table. The two young Cratchits set chairs for everybody, not forgetting themselves, and mounting guard upon their posts, crammed spoons into their mouths, lest they should shriek for goose before their turn came to be helped. At last, the dishes were set on and grace was said. It was succeeded by a breathless pause as Mrs. Cratchit, looking slowly all along the carving knife, prepared to plunge it in the breast. But when she did, and when the long-expected gush of stuffing issued forth, one murmur of delight arose all around the board, and even Tiny Tim, excited by the two young Cratchits, beat on the table with the handle of his knife and feebly cried, "Hurrah!" There never was such a goose. Bob said he didn't believe there ever was such a goose cooked. Its tenderness and flavor, size and cheapness were the themes of universal admiration. Eked out by the applesauce and mashed potatoes, it was a sufficient dinner for the whole family. Indeed, as Mrs. Cratchit said with great delight, surveying one small atom of bone upon the dish, they hadn't ate it all at last. Yet everyone had had enough, and the youngest Cratchits in particular were steeped in sage and onion to the eyebrows. But now, the plates being changed by Miss Belinda, Mrs. Cratchit left the room alone, too nervous to bear witness, to take the pudding up and bring it in. Suppose it should not be done enough. Suppose it should break on turning out. Suppose somebody should have got over the wall of the backyard and stolen it while they were merry with the goose, a supposition at which the two young Cratchits became livid. All sorts of horrors were supposed. Hello! A great deal of steam. The pudding was out of the copper, a smell like a washing day. That was the cloth, a smell like an eating house and a pastry cook's next door to each other with the laundresses next door to that. And that was the pudding. In half a minute, Mrs. Cratchit entered, flushed, but smiling proudly, with the pudding like a speckled cannonball, so hard and firm and blazing, in half a quantern of lighted brandy and bedite with Christmas holly stuck into the top. Oh, a wonderful pudding, Cratchit said, and calmly too, that he regarded it as the greatest success achieved by Mrs. Cratchit since their marriage. Charles Dickens, A Christmas Carol. Winter puddings. Winter days are for proper puddings. Rip sticking, suety, satisfying puddings, thick, sustaining, and sweet. Marmalade pudding, steamed or boiled. Jam sponge and spiced fruit from a white cloth. And the puddings with the pretty names. Guards pudding, castle pudding, cabinet pudding, poor knights of Windsor, queen of puddings, parson's pudding, Sussex pond pudding, college pudding, quaking pudding, roly-poly, and last but not least, Spotted Dick. Our next reading will be on marmalade from Through the Kitchen Window by Susan Hill, as illustrated by Angela Barrett, 1982. That's it, kids. Gee whiz, we've been on here almost an hour and 30 minutes. My butter should be softened by now, I think. I also think it has stopped raining, and I'll bet you that Rags the rescued dog would like a walk. So I'm going to sing you out of here quickly, say goodbye, and put my phone on charge and get on with my day. Thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate it. So we need a Christmas song. Let's see. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. Hi, Eve. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. Especially during this time of the year, I'm asking you to continue putting into practice being kind to one another. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to cost you anything. You have the power to make a positive difference in someone else's day. I strongly encourage you to use that superpower. Now, get the heck out of my house. I've got softened butter, receipt, and some Christmas baking to do. See you on the flip-flop. So, may your days be merry and bright, and may oh, your Christmas is be bright, bright. Get out of here.